This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by CFU, the power of service.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. Last weekend, the UNI Athletic Department hosted the Missouri Valley Conference Indoor Track and Field Championships inside the UNI-Dome. There were many personal best accomplishments by the UNI student athletes to go along with some individual conference titles. Here's head coach Dan Steele with a recap of the championship weekend and the indoor track and field season.
Well, Alex was terrific. You know, she was so hungry to get that first conference championship, and her season has been, well, historic. I mean, she's breaking records every time she runs, which you just don't see. And so she was really hungry for that first title, and so she was going to leave nothing to chance. She went after it. There was no question the entire race who your champion was going to be, and she was really brilliant. I was very excited for her. The women's 800 was one of my favorite of the weekend. Amber Clock, she went after it, and maybe just a little bit ambitious. I think if she had backed off maybe by a second in the first 400, she would have had more at the end. But that said, she was brilliant. She was brilliant, and she made that race. She pushed the pace. And Brett Corey laid off a little bit and put herself in a position to challenge Amber near the end of that race. In the end, she won it. Darian, she's been working really hard. She's a senior now, which I can't believe. I still remember when we recruited her. Really excited for her. She ran a really aggressive race. She held everybody off as she needed to. And in the end, she's all conference and she made the podium, so I was thrilled for her. Jamie was terrific. You know, I know she wanted big PRs, and she was at her best, though. She was right at her PRs, and you really can't ask for more than that. Libby was great as usual. She had no misses right up into the bar that she got knocked out at. She was dead on, and you know, the girl that beat her had to beat her with a huge jump. She's one of the best in the country. I thought Rachel and Shaylee were terrific. They competed really, really well. They fought through some tough conditions, which everybody has to in the multis, and they started to show that their experience is now paying off. They handled situations more like veterans than like rookies, and as a result, they both did very, very well. Javon Matthews and Derek Jacobus are both true freshmen. They're both brand new to the heptathlon. They're learning almost every event. They came in with only one event under their belt, and so much of this is new. To see them both do as well as they did, you're looking at two future stars. Javon, for him to get second and almost steal a championship in his first year doing the event, that's extraordinary. That just doesn't happen, particularly when you look at the events he had to learn. And you can say the same thing about Derek. Well, Brandon Carnes was terrific. You know, I think it's a lot easier to win your first title than to defend that title. And there's a reason why there's not a whole lot of guys that have a bunch of championships in those sprint events. People are hungry, and there's really good, talented athletes in that event. But there was no question, really, in either event, the 60 or the 200. I mean, Brad, he came from nowhere in the event. He was having just a very mediocre day and launched himself into fourth place, with Justin getting third place. Well, the 60 hurdles was an interesting event for us this year because, one, we have one of the best guys in the country in Sebastian Barth, and two, we've got some young, hungry athletes that are competing really well. Sebastian was dinged up, and we made a tough decision not to compete him. He's getting ready for national championships here in 2 weeks, and that was a tough call. The good news is we got a bunch of other guys that are really hungry that are ready to score. And so in the end, you got John Russ, who made the final and got fourth place, and he was terrific. You had Steven Addison, who made his first final. He was terrific. And then you got a football player who's been out for about 10 minutes named Doris Fountain, who was brilliant. All he knows is he's trying to beat everybody next to him, and he did a really good job at that. So to have three guys score in that final without having Sebastian in it, we really didn't lose that many points.